We don't buy things with money. We buy things with hours from our life. That's the title of an article I came across a few months ago. A life-changing piece that gave me a new perspective on spending. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guests. Henry David Thoreau, a well-known philosopher, once said, "The price of anything is the amount of life you exchange for it." That is true. Let's think about our ancestors for a moment. Back in the dark old ages, our ancestors would spend a month building a boat if they needed one. If you ask them, "Hey, how much did it cost?" they would say, 30 days. That's 30 days of their life they spent. Then came the bartering system. Our ancestors exchanged goods and services. If they wanted a boat, they would trade with half the grains they grew within 2 months. And again, that's 30 days. But if you ask them how much it would cost, they would tell you 100 pounds of grain. Today, if you ask your neighbors, "Hey, how much did your boat cost?" they would tell you, "None of your business?" Well, depending on the size and the model, it's probably worth $10,000 or 1 Bitcoin. The point is, as the economy and our financial system evolve, it's becoming more and more obscure to look at spending the same way our ancestors once did. With the new financial products such as the credit card, you can easily spend your future away without even knowing it. Think about it. What about the growing income disparity? The price tag we see today is no longer the true cost of our spending. For example, a $10,000 boat may be considered expensive for all of us. No, not all of us, many of us. Some of you might be rich. Okay. But not for Bill Gates or Jeff Bezos. I mean, Jeff Bezos can probably get it for free on Amazon. You get my point. All right. Now that we know that, what is the true cost? For the sake of discussion, we are going to look at some data. That's why we have this beautiful slide today.
So good.
All right. Let's look at our first slide here. According to StatCan, the net income per average household in Canada as per year 2017 is approximately $60,000. With an average 230 working days, that gives us a net earning of $35 per hour. Well, that actually fits perfectly with the profile of our persona today. And I think you all know him. Please meet
Mr. Coco.
Oh, Uncle Coco. I'm not sure if you remember Uncle Coco. All right, Uncle Coco. Today we are going to look at some of Uncle Coco's expenditures. All right, let's begin. First, a Starbucks iced latte, Uncle Coco's favorite. That's $5.50. The true cost is 10 minutes of his life. A Starbucks for, oh my God. A dinner for two, a sand bar. That's $100.
Wow, why?
What? Yes, but tips included. Two people. So
That's a pretty big tip.
equivalent 3 hours of his life. I always wanted a TV. If you know me, you always hear me saying that.
Yes.
Let's look at this Samsung 50-inch LED smart TV. That's $500 at Best Buy. If Uncle Coco gave me that as a Christmas gift, he would be giving me 15 hours of his life. A new iPhone, $1,000 or 4 days. A car, 5 months. Or Uncle reception. $50,000. That's 10 months of his life. And mind you, some marriages don't even last that long. apartment in downtown Montreal. That's equivalent to 6.7 years. If Uncle Coco lives up to 67 years old, he will be spending 10% of his life to buy these apartments. That sounds depressing, doesn't it?
It's funny.
I'm
not Uncle
Well, measuring true cost is just a helpful exercise to realize how many hours of your life go into each spending, which in turn allows us to make informed purchase decisions. For instance, last week I saw this beautiful wine rack at the store. It cost $150, or 5 hours of my life. Do I want to give away 5 hours for a rack that I don't even have enough wine bottles to fill it with? Also, I drink it too fast. No, it isn't worth it. So, before I buy something, here's my rule of thumb. Would I use it more than twice per month? If the answer is no, then I probably don't need it. Now, being practical is a virtue, but we shouldn't quantify spending solely by its cost. What about the value derived from the spending? Look, I spent $99 on my Toastmasters membership. That's 4 hours of my life. But I got into a room of awesome people. I'm becoming an excellent public speaker.
Yeah.
Well, in my mind anyway. That sounds like a bargain to me. So FYI, for those of you guests, if you haven't signed up, you can get a sign-up form from the guys with the red tag. All right? And last week, on a night out with my friends, I spent $80, or 3 hours equivalent, plus a morning hangover. But we had an incredible time, and our relationship has grown stronger for it. Here's the food for thought. We all know that the price of anything is the amount of life we exchange for it. However, we shouldn't limit ourselves from enjoying life or stop us from doing things that we are passionate about. So, at the end of the day, it all really comes down to one thing. Let me ask you, what are you willing to exchange for your life? Back to you.